Hi everybody, I'm Sandy Puc from sandypucuniversity.com, and today we're going to critique some baby images. Now, a big thank you out to Heather for sending us these files. Great job. This first little baby is absolutely adorable. It looks like you're outside in the field. You've got beautiful grass. You've got lots of depth in this image. The only thing on the first image of the baby, I would say the color's a little off. He seems a little blue. So you can warm that up in post if you like, or you could have scrimmed this a little bit, blocked out the light coming from above, and got more light coming from below, maybe with a reflector. That would give a little more depth in the face. You can see it's lit mainly from the top, so there's a lot of shadow under the eyes. So just be careful there. Super cute shot. Focus point is great. You've got the lips, the the lips and the nose in focus, the front of the blanket, and just a tip of the hat, and then it fades off, which is wonderful. The second shot is super cute of this baby as well. The only thing I would question is the orientation. You're in a horizontal orientation and the baby's being cropped mid-chest. So I never like to amputate or cut anybody off at that mid-chest area. So in this image I would love to see it rotated, and by rotating it, it would go into a vertical orientation, and I also would consider cropping it square, so it becomes more of a square opportunity instead of a horizontal or vertical. But this image, the skin tone is much better. You can see I love the follow-up. I love how quickly it goes out of focus. This is just a magical image. Really beautiful as well. This is darling. This next image is the baby. It looks like you've got an antique pram and you're out in the field. Super cute. You've used some textures, and not textures, you've used some filters or some actions to give it kind of that 1970s antique feel that's very popular right now. The only thing I would say is there's a lot of light on the baby coming from the top. You can see his hair and his back are definitely blown out, and I feel like it's sort of distracting from the strength of this image, which is the baby. So I would say a scrim, something to block that light to make the baby darker would be great. Otherwise, just changing your position, dropping down a little lower so that the darker trees behind were behind the baby so that he would pop out a little bit more. But the biggest thing is your exposure. I would say you could definitely stop down a couple stops so that the baby will be a little more contrasty, a little more dark, and I think you'd have a really awesome image here. So this is great. Now the next image is a holy cow wow shot. You nailed it. Now you've taken the baby in the same pram, you found a shadier area. So you can see that there's a little more shade in the foreground. The baby's exposure is better. There's not so much blowout in the hair. This is fantastic, by the way. This is an editorial style image, but I love everything about it. You've got the clouds, the saturation. You are using that antique style, which I'm not always a fan of that type of style. It seems to be overused in our industry, but in this case, I think it goes well with the story, kind of has that antique feel, and it's just fantastic. So really and truly nice work. This is just an awesome shot. This is definitely one of those that you could really take far. One last thought is that bullseye presentation, putting the baby dead center. In this case, it works, but a lot of times we try to avoid that bullseye. Maybe putting the baby to the right just a little bit more, using the rule of thirds, having the baby in the lower third, and having more sky and open space could be really incredible as well. This might be something that you have the ability to actually do that if you've got a little more room around the image. If not, in the future, just try to think about positioning as well. But well done. This one's awesome. Honestly, thank you so much for sharing. For those of you who are interested, you can go to sandypucuniversity.com and check us out. At SPU, we have the most friendly forum in the world. People are there to help, to share, to grow. We want you to have strong photography businesses. So hopefully you can check us out at Sandy Puc University. If not, just keep posting.